Iggy, you introduced the third topic.
The third topic. Okay. All right. Dad, who is a better head coach right now? Kyle Shanahan or Jim Harbaugh? I'm not saying who is a better 49ers coach, because I think we could both agree that Harbaugh's tenure with the 49ers was special.
Right. And with the Niners, I would say he accomplished a little bit more than Kyle has so far, but Kyle has a lot of more opportunities. But we're comparing them. It's June 10th,
Right.
2020, or June 11th, whatever it is, June 10th.
Right.
And we're comparing them right now. I want to say, I want to make a disclaimer. I don't know Kyle, never met him, and I know Jim Harbaugh very well. And we're not quite friends, but we're very friendly. And he wrote for my book, he wrote the afterword. I have dear feelings for Jim Harbaugh.
Yes.
I admire him, and I consider him as close as I ever get to athletes and coaches. I would have to say right now, Kyle Shanahan is a better coach. I have reasons. Would you like me to give my reasons first, or do you want to give yours?
Oh, go ahead, Dad. You take it away.
I do think that Kyle Shanahan always was more creative than Jim Harbaugh, but I have to say that's irrelevant, because Jim Harbaugh was a hell of a coach with the 49ers. His creativity was with his offensive coordinator,
Greg Roman.
I already forgot the guy's name.
Right.
What he had, I'm going to use a really strange word. Harbaugh had anger. He had anger. He wanted to kick butt. Yeah. And his teams, offensively and defensively, kicked butt. And he carried the team on his back with his anger.
Yes.
And he made quite a formidable crew. You know, Iggy, I don't think he quite has that at Michigan. Again, I'm not covering him. I'm not there. He can't beat Ohio State. He's a very good coach. He's not probably as successful as Michigan had hoped. And I think part of it is he's maybe a little older. Mm-hmm. He's maybe a little worn out.
Yeah.
I don't mean he's worn out. He's maybe a little tireder. And I think that crazy anger, passion may have dissipated a little bit. So the edge he may have had over, the edge he did have over Kyle Shanahan in that department may have dissipated. So I'm going to go for Kyle right now.
Yeah, I agree. What made Jim Harbaugh special and unique was that anger. He called it an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. It was white hot anger. And
yes.
It was the extra thing that all of his teams needed that made him good. I mean, he had Vic Fangio and Greg Roman, who, in retrospect, were two of the most cutting-edge coordinators in the league at the time. He had a great supporting coaching staff. But what made Harbaugh's team special was his will. And he had it in college. He had it as a player. He wasn't a particularly good quarterback. He didn't have a great arm. He had this. Then he had it when he became a head coach at San Diego and Stanford and the 49ers. And I think you can only keep it up for so long. You can only have an enthusiasm unknown to mankind for what? 50 years, 55 years, and eventually you mellow out. And I think that's what happened. He had a pretty bad experience with the Niners at the end, went to Michigan, which was like semi-retirement for him. It's where he went to college. He's not going to get fired. He's the king of the campus. I don't think he has the same maniacal need to win that he had 10 years ago, and that's normal. I mean, didn't you see that from Bill Walsh when he went to Stanford the second time?
Oh, I saw it at the Niners, Iggy. His last season, he won the Super Bowl, but he was a tired, burnt-out man at the end. And when he came to Stanford, his first season, he did very well. I wrote a book about that. But, you know, he did it with Dennis Green's players.
Yes.
Dennis Green had that maniacal will to win. After that one season when Dennis Green's players began to go away, Bill was just tired. And in a way, I think Stanford had made a mistake to hire him. You know, our friend Gary Cavalli says it's very hard to come back again. It's, you know, you don't want to get a coach on the downslope. You want to get them on the upslope when they're hungry, like Kyle Shanahan. And that's the same problem the Raiders have with Gruden.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's nothing against Jim Harbaugh or Bill Walsh. It happens to every coach. It happens to every person. I mean, right now, I'm extremely ambitious and I put up like 4 or 5 videos a day. If I was getting paid, if I've been doing this for 10 years and getting paid $7 million a year, I probably wouldn't have the same ambition and drive. It happens to everyone, right? How much money? What?
When you get $7 million a year, let me know about it. All
I'll
right.
give you a nickel.